Hello everyone and welcome to a sponsored first taste video for Desperados 3. Now, as with this being a sponsored video, I want to first take the opportunity to thank THQ and Me for making this video and indeed the game possible. Thank you very, very much. I am really excited to check this out. And if you are interested in any more information on the game, if this video leaves you thirsting for more, then do be sure to check out the URL link down below for information on where you can purchase the game, or for just general information on the game, you can also check out the Discord link and become a part of the Desperados community. Now, having mentioned that, and given that this is Desperados 3, the very second thing I want to check, I was about to say first, but you know, that slot's already gone, much like the first comment, no doubt. I'm sorry everyone who's checking this out a few seconds after the video goes live, it's already gone more than likely. But if you are worried a little bit about the 3 in the title there, perhaps you're new to the franchise, I'm very happy to say that this is in effect a prequel to the franchise. So you can absolutely jump in at this point without any knowledge on the game up to now, the story that's in the game, the characters, and this will be a standalone experience for the most part. For those of you who are veterans to the Desperados franchise, the real-time tactics a game, or rather, I mean, it's got pause functionality, so I always kind of think of it as real-time / turn-based in that sense. It's a game with a great deal of focus on strategy and stealth. If you are indeed a veteran, then this game offers an opportunity for you to learn some of the backstory to some of the beloved characters in there as well. The game will be available on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and indeed you can play it with a controller on the PC if you are thus inclined. Now, for this first taste, I'm actually going to be checking out the 4th level. Now, that might come as a little bit of a deviation from the norm, but the first 3 levels were available in the recent demo that was put out on the internet. So, for any of you who are already familiar with the gameplay in the first 3 levels, then you may be interested to check out the 4th here. And indeed, after that, if you're still hungry for more, I will be streaming around 9 PM BST, that's effectively UTC +1, where we will be checking out the 5th and indeed the 6th level, depending on time. I mean, the levels are incredibly expansive, so we'll see how far we get. So I hope to see some of you there as well. But with that all said and done, as I am often fond of saying, it is much easier to show than to describe, so let's go ahead and just jump straight into a game. Until death do us part. The man they call Frank is at the estate of Mayor Higgins. John Cooper heads over, not knowing that a certain someone is getting ready for her wedding there. You can see here that we're going to have 2 characters. Quite a lot of the levels will have a combination. You might be playing it solo, or certain sections of the level, as will be the case here, where you will be playing just with the one character and then have others join you as the story progresses, or some of them you can have up to a total cast of 5. And we'll cover the other characters in passing as we get through this one. We're only going to be focused on 2 for this mission. As you can see, there are lots of different completions. Now, some of these are actually kind of mutually exclusive. You'll notice here I've already played through this level just to get the lay of the land, but you'll see that there are 2 objectives. One, don't use the Gatling gun, and another, kill 15 guards with the Gatling gun. This game is designed around the idea that you're going to come back to some levels to play them again if you are inclined to try and pick up all of the achievements and badges. The first time through, you don't know what any of the achievements are, so you're kind of flying it blind, and I've only played it once, hence not actually hitting any of these, but we'll see what we can do about that as we go. One other thing I would like to point out is there is a fantastic level of control over the difficulty, and I think that's actually a really, really nice touch. I'm always a huge fan of adding more options. Now, I am quite often want to go for the hardest difficulty just because I enjoy the challenge, but you do not have to. And for the sake of this video, I'll actually be going on normal. But in terms of details, you can really fine-tune that difficulty if you would like to. So I think that's actually really, really cool. You've got a lot of options there. Another thing worth noting is that these games are often, well, failure is a part of the game experience. It's as if it's balanced around the idea that you will use quick save and quick load extensively throughout the levels. You will try certain strategies. If they fail, you'll dial it back a few steps and try again, so on and so forth. Now, level 4. A half-hour ride up the mountain from Flagstone lies the newly built estate of Mayor Higgins. Having come to considerable wealth after certain deals with the DeWitt Company, Higgins has spared no expense to outfit his humble abode with the latest comforts and luxuries. Recently, the entire estate has been busy with wedding preparations. Mayor Higgins, after years of rebuke, has finally convinced the love of his life to tie the knot. Unbeknownst to him, however, the bride has her own plans for the big day.
Everyone hold still, please.
And here we get treated to a little intro to the mission.
Magnificent.
These cutscenes appear all the way through most of the missions, actually.
I'll fetch another plate.
There's an awful lot of story in this strategy, and I love it.
How do you like the new dress, sweet pea?
It's lovely, darling.
Oh, excellent. I want everyone talking about this day for years.
Mayor Higgins.
Oh, what now?
Frank says he's getting impatient.
Shh, not now. Can't you see we're in the middle of something? I'm sorry, sweet pea. This is something I really have to take care of.
Don't you worry about me, darling.
Oh, okay, stay right here. I'll be back in a jiffy. I need more time. Try to distract Frank. I really need to check the flower arrangements.
Yes, sir.
Bye for now. Finally, I thought he'd never leave.
And if you didn't see that coming, you haven't watched
Need to
nearly
work
enough
fast.
westerns.
Get what I need and leave before I get dragged to the altar. First, I need a key to the upper floor. I think she carries a spare. Bet she won't mind if I borrow it for a spell. The guards won't bother me so long as I don't misbehave too much. As soon as I get it, I'll sneak in through the library door. The upper floor is off limits. I'll have to avoid the guards until I reach the office. I'll turn the place upside down until I find what I'm here for. All right then. I need to get out of here before the groom decides to check in on his bride.
And with that, we are in control. Now, the very first thing I want to point out is that these levels are in fact fully realized. You can rotate the levels completely, and you really should, because it will quite often highlight areas that you might not have realized otherwise. I made it through the first two tutorial levels without realizing that, and I feel like a bit of a dunce. The levels are gorgeous and very, very well made. There's lots of different ways to and fro, and to any particular goal, there are so many possible paths to take, and something we'll demonstrate in a little bit. Now, for the time being, we're actually allowed to go wherever we want. We can right-click on people to get, the kind of customary in kind of stealth-based game, the vision cone. This one is split up into two distinct areas. The filled-in area, which is where if you do anything, they can see you, they will become suspicious of you, assuming you're not meant to be there. In the kind of dashed area, that's kind of their periphery, or perhaps their sense of hearing, things like that. So if, for example, you were crouched, as Kate is now, then you could move around in this completely freely. Even if you weren't meant to be there, they wouldn't react to that initially. Now, as you can probably already tell, there's lots of patrols, and that's part of the puzzle of this game, is there are so many different moving parts and different timings, and getting things to synchronize is an incredibly important part of the process. Now, as I mentioned, Kate is actually allowed to be here. She's not out of place being here. She is the bride, after all.
The dress is beautiful.
It is beautiful, I agree. However, if we do anything overtly suspicious, that will cause an alarm to be raised. And indeed, when in the cutscene, they'll often tell you like a suggested path to get to your objectives, and little tidbits like, as long as don't misbehave, then we should be okay. Now, we're going to wander down here, and this is going to highlight another part of this level. Hello there.
Jesus, that dog hates me. The feeling's mutual.
How dare. Dog's just being a good guard dog. Damn it, a lot better than most of the guards here, I will say. Now, Kate's abilities are blank for the moment, and that is something... This is the first level where we get introduced to Kate. Each level that prior to this, a new character was introduced, and that character's abilities were kind of just fed to you through the course of the level in a very tutorial way, but it was so much better than just getting a massive info dump at the start, a very front-loaded kind of introduction to the game, because it's so easy to forget so much that way around.
I wish this was our wedding.
Oh, bless. Makes me doubly sad about what's going to have to happen in a few moments. In certain missions, Kate can pickpocket enemies, but be careful if you are spotted doing so. It will arouse the alarm. Well, yeah, obviously, because there's very little more suspicious than a
I'll lift the
pickpocket.
key from her. But the
We will.
guy on the balcony seems a little too fixated on her. Let's blind him a little with this perfume.
Blind him a little? That's awful. But at this point, we are going to go stealth. So at this stage, the poncho can't actually see us. Now, the different guardsmen, there are different tiers of them. Some are much more hardy than others. Some have special abilities. Some can be distracted in ways that others can't. And you slowly get introduced to this through going through. Now, we are going to want to take this guardsman down before trying to pick her pocket, otherwise he will notice it. Now, I did that from a stealth position because, well, it's a little bit suspicious that someone's just reeling back with something in their hand about to throw it at you. Though, again, coming back to the guard dog, probably a better guard dog than the guardsman, he just got a vial of some strange liquid lobbed into his face. I mean, okay, it didn't permanently blind him, but I would myself consider that highly suspicious. But now with that done, we're going to let ourselves through this this gate over here. Now that little exclamation mark allows us to know that that is a suspicious activity. So we want to duck down into a shrub there, so that no one noticed that. Honestly, I would think that the bride wandering around, crouch walking and ducking into shrubberies was in and of itself suspicious personally, but you know, that what makes me probably a better guardsman than these guys. Though far less fun to be in a tactical strategy game with. I've got to be honest. I'd probably make an awfully imbalanced guard in these sorts of things. I've read far too many evil minion do's and don'ts for that. Right, now, this will illustrate us something else. Whilst we're on a higher level, anyone down below, it's automatically going to be in the shaded area of their vision. It's never going to be filled in. From down below, you're always partially obscured. Enough that, if you crouch, you're basically invisible. Even though this sight cone could come up here, it never will. Now, you, on the other hand, could if you were looking this way. And indeed, I believe one of the fellas down there is going to be on a wander. Now, we can press X in order to speed things up, and we can see their path. They can see up here. At least enough that would cause us some problems. Now, what we want to do is prevent you and the other fella from seeing what we're about to do next, which is this, followed by this. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. Whoop-pow! It's just not cricket. It's so wrong. So wrong on so many levels. Now, we're just going to happily let ourselves inside. Because Kate, as far as I'm aware, of the 4 characters that I have encountered so far, Kate is the only one that has no means of permanently taking someone down. She cannot... Well, I guess later on she may have a lethal takedown, but she has no non-lethal takedowns. She can knock someone down, but can't keep them down. She can't tie them up because she doesn't have any rope with her. Everyone else has a means to both eliminate someone permanently, like permanently, or knock them out and then tie them up and then dump them in the bush, and then they're effectively out of the game. Now, in here, we're lucky that this fella can't see through windows because he is in alert, but it seems that we are basically invisible through the windows. Now, we do have to be aware that the guardsmen over here are on, basically we're in a place where we shouldn't be, as evidenced there by the little red threshold. The moment we cross that threshold, we are now... Just being here will raise the alarm. We need to get in here, though. And for that, we're going to need this guardsman to wander past. And at this point, we should be able to get down here reasonably fast. Now, we do need to move rather quickly. And there are all sorts of different routes and things that you can do in here. Oh, he's going to turn around in a second. Whoa,
almost there.
That was a little bit worrisome. But we have made it to our destination. Now, we've more or less taken the path that the game suggested. It does seem that any other path would have just been irksome and overly bothersome just for the sake of it. But at this point, I'm going to drop a quick save. The game does seem balanced with the idea of repeated quick saving and quick loading in mind. Just take a few steps, see if that plays out the way you want it to. If it doesn't, revert, try a different strategy. That seems to be the intended balance of the game. Though some levels do have achievements for not ever saving, so bear that in mind. I love how even the animations are dripping with character. Like the slight limp and the kind of swagger that this cowboy has. It's fantastic. I love it. You can get so much information of just this character from the way people react to him, but also just the way he comports himself in a different way to other characters.
Ah, Frank. So you found my office.
Indeed he did.
You should keep your friends waiting, Higgins.
Well, sorry about that. The wedding, you understand.
Of course.
There's the food, the decorations, the blast.
Let's get this done. I got a train to catch.
Of course. Just give me a moment. Did I hear correctly that there was trouble in Flagstone yesterday?
Now, that's a reference
Usual.
to one of the earlier
I
levels.
can imagine Mr. DeVitt isn't too happy about that.
David isn't here.
I wonder if he'd want you to leave things unfinished here. Or is there something more important in New Orleans?
And that's foreshadowing for one of the later levels.
Maybe you should just get back to your wedding, Higgins.
Maybe you're right. Wouldn't want the bride to get nervous.
Well, she has every reason to be.
Pardon?
I don't think she'll be happy when she finds out you sold off her family ranch.
Well, she doesn't have to find out until after the wedding.
Wow.
Right?
You're a scallywag.
You know,
And also about to get your comeuppance because I hazard to guess that she already knows.
difference in the end. Enjoy your wedding, Higgins.
Wait a second. I need a drink.
I think you're going to need a lot more than a drink in a few moments, mate.
Sure you want to do this alone?
This ain't a discussion.
So, what's your plan?
Get in, find Frank, do what I came for.
Now, these two characters we were already being introduced to in earlier levels, or in earlier
March
tutorial
to the
levels.
front gate.
There's a path down those cliffs. I'll just follow that and climb up those vines. From there, I'll wing it.
That's no plan, amigo.
I've pulled off flimsier once.
If I think something's up, I'll come and get you.
No, you stay put. This is my fight.
Whatever you say, amigo.
Now, that is Hector there, and from what I can tell, he's kind of your archetypal heavy in so far that less of a stealthy, more of a brute force kind of character. Takes people down with axes, can carry 2 corpses at a time, does have a bear trap, so isn't straight up, just bust through the door, guns blazing. Cooper here is more of a rogue-like archetype, has a knife for silent takedowns, and can throw his knife as well for long distance, but it's a little bit louder. Has a coin to distract people, has guns as well, which he can wield 2 of them. Is one of the only characters that can take 2 shots in Showdown. Now, Showdown is something that we'll get to in a little bit. It's going to be so fun the moment Kate and Cooper team up, because I can start illustrating one of honestly, one of my favorite parts of the tactics in this game. There is also Doc McCoy, who is a bit more of a sniper, also a healer, as evidenced by the name Doc, or rather the title, I suppose, Doctor. And there is one other character besides. Now, I haven't actually come to her in the game yet, but she, I believe, is a new character for the series, and indeed has a very, very interesting set of abilities, more of the otherworldly and kind of magical types of abilities. We'll discuss her a little bit later. Now, you can see there, the little border there. We're not allowed past that point. If we walk through there, we will immediately cause the alarm to raise. So we're going to be non-suspicious, just as Kate was. The little green shield shows that we're allowed here for now, and we're just going to go this way. Though, honestly, I kind of consider it a suspicious thing for a man to walk into a bush and then just not come back. These guards, once again, probably worse than the dog. The dog would think that was suspicious. Now, the shield is gone, and we can now be spotted by peeps. So we've got to be a bit careful. Now, the game gave us a bit of a hint. Again, there are so many routes. We could take this route, go all the way around, get up there somehow past the civilians, who would no doubt be a little bit uncertain about our presence, and will likely raise the alarm themselves, and then get up and get through there, where we can see possibly a bit of an altercation is going on. But there are other ways that we can do it as well, and I think we're probably going to explore one of those. Again, this is one of the big parts of this game that I love, is just how much game there is here, how much replayability, how many different ways you can try and do things. What we need to know is where people are and where they're looking all the time. Now, you're going to have a bit of a chat. I'm going to use this as my opportunity to get over here if I can.
You're not on the guest list, pal.
I'm not here.
So piss off.
You can't see me. That's kind of a funny little glitch there. That's what they say if you walk straight up to them. And it makes sense then, but they should have raised the alarm if they realized I was there at all when I was walking behind them, but that's fine. Now, we should be okay. You don't seem to come up here, but I want to see which way you look. Now, we can hold down X once again. Oh, that's S, not X. You can hold down X to speed things along, and it looks like you never look over here, which is perfect. Now, can I get up this wall? No, there are no vines over there. There is a ladder down there, but I don't believe we can get through that door, because if we press H, yeah, it's got a padlock on it. We can sort of see it there. Now, I believe perhaps if we'd had Kate unlock that on her way past, we might be able to use that route, but we can go through this door as it is unlocked. If we rotate this around, there are doors down there. Oh, that's interesting. Where are those doors exactly? Oh, no, those are doors of a cupboard inside the room. Now, what we're going to do then is we're going to have to try and get past here. Now, how can we go up there? No, we can't. We can't go around behind. But let's have a look at you. Do you ever move? I haven't seen the moving yet. Now, you're the only one that's a real problem for me. I can't go that way because you are watching that way. I could get as far as a horse, but that would be it. And I wouldn't even be able to get in through the door here. We're going to drop another quick save, though, just because I'm about to do something potentially risky. And we are going to try and get these two to look in this direction. I'm going to need be a little bit further back from the wall because it's a little bit too close. Right, go. And let's make a move. Straight in there. There we go. Now we're going to hold tight here because I don't believe that they ever look up past these horses. They don't seem to be looking around. They're just mostly chatting with themselves. In fact, I don't even need to do that. If we look over there, I should be clear to just walk straight around. Now, the horses, you may notice, are interactable. And if someone was stood directly behind one, then that would be a really, really funny gag. But alas, that is not the case here. Now, let's have a look back here. You're more or less looking in that direction, and you don't really look up, which is fine by me. Now, Cooper has all of his abilities unlocked because we met him in an earlier level and got tutorialized through all of his abilities. I need to make sure you're not looking this way. So, for this, I just need to draw your attention over here. There we go. Let's go. Quickly. In fact, we can run past there. You do make a little bit of noise when you're running, and certainly if you're running right past someone, they'll probably hear you. But for the most part, you're okay, unless you're splashing through water. You can leave muddy footprints if you do that, though, if the ground is a bit moist, and people can zero in on that, which is quite bad. Now, at this point, we can go for a takedown, but we could either go for a stab, or we can press this and go for a non-lethal takedown. Indeed, there is no need. Now, if you hold down control when you do this, you'll notice that the icon changes, and this means that I'm going to immediately try to pick the lad up when I knock him out. Quomp. There we go. Oh, actually, in this case, I'm tying him up immediately, because you have to do that. If someone is, if you take someone down non-lethally, you have to tie them up before you can put them somewhere. Otherwise, they just wake up later on. Now, you'll notice that Cooper stood up when I did that. Now, that is something to bear in mind. Cooper carries a corpse on his shoulder, can move at a normal pace when he does it. But some characters aren't strong enough to carry a corpse, so they'll drag them on the ground. They'll move very slowly, but they'll keep a low profile while they're doing it. And this is something to bear in mind. All of the characters have such a different array, such a varied array of abilities. Now, my lord, I mean, to be fair, you are being a massive jerk. Now, I'm going to have to wait to make this move, I feel.
Okay.
Once again, I could just do nothing to you, in fact. I could just slip through here and not deal with this thug at all. And you know what? Let's go ahead. You get a bye. I don't need to take you out, so I won't. Professional courtesy, if you will. Now then, what's going to happen over here? I'm not sure I'm going to be able to be as magnanimous here, though. In fact, fairly certain I can't. So, knife, swap. Now that is louder than just sneaking up behind someone and taking them down. And you're coming with me, mate. And we're off. You can see that I am making a lot of noise while I'm carrying this heavy load there. And we're just going to drop him there. I could stick him in the cupboard, but I don't think we're going to need to. Now, I need to wait for this guard to make his way back, and then we can decide on where we're going next. This one still hasn't really moved around. He's probably just trying to pretend that he can't hear what's going on in that room. I would probably be doing the same, frankly. It's like, yeah, okay, they're talking way too loud to have any reasonable expectation of privacy. Nevertheless, I will try to give it to them. Now then, let's try and slip in here and drop down another quick save just before we do. Always wise to pop them down. As I said, the game seems quite heavily balanced with the idea that you're going to be quick saving often.
It's done. Nothing I can do now.
Call him back.
Nothing you want to do, you mean?
Kate, please. We have a wedding ahead of us. Now calm down, will you? Time's wasting.
You really still think I was going to marry you? Enjoy your wedding.
Not so fast.
I mean, I
have no idea how much I've invested.
think you were getting off lightly before, but...
Marry me today. You're going to play the good little wife. I bet you'll forget all about your old life after you pop out a few children.
Wow, you looked away as
I
well.
must decline.
What the hell are you doing, Kate?
Just trying to be convincing.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm gonna show you your place.
Oh, I don't
in
think
this
that's
world,
wise.
You stupid.
Had it
I
coming, to
think
be honest.
I know my place.
I reckon he deserved that.
Who the hell are you?
I could ask you the same.
I don't have time. Step aside.
Really?
To the office. Move it.
You sure you want to go this way?
Shit.
Now, a long coat is not a enemy type you want to mess with.
Open the fucking door.
Take this.
Case closed. Okay.
I don't know if that's going to hold.
Balcony door?
Works for me.
I mean, the shotgun might, but I don't think the hinges will.
Wait.
What are you doing?
He doesn't need that money anymore.
Money, huh?
True, but if that was in the front of his coat, I think it got shredded by, the shotgun.
Heads down.
Right.
Close call. They're gonna search everywhere now.
I have to warn my uncle. Let's get out of here.
Well, tell me something first. You ever heard of a guy called Frank?
Yeah. Let's discuss it on the way, if you don't mind.
No chance we'll get through
Fair.
there. Not without some serious firepower.
You know how to pull the trigger of a Gatling gun?
I sure do. But, why does it have a pink ribbon?
It's a wedding present. Don't ask.
But
Anyway.
but I really, really want to now.
Don't get very far in this bloody dress. Let's visit that maid up on the stage. I can steal her clothes and use them to blend in.
Sure. Though, I don't see a gal like you blending in anywhere, Miss,
O'Hara.
Sorry about the cursor. It seems to keep
Kate O'Hara.
centering on the screen.
I'll take that as a compliment, Mr.
Cooper. John Cooper.
Okay. Now, the game, once again, has given us a pretty solid suggestion on how to do this. We can steal a disguise. And as much as I kind of want to, just to showcase how to use disguises, there's also so many other ways that we can go. I mean, one, we can just go back the way that we came. Though, it looks like there's more guardsmen there now. Quite a lot more, actually. Oh no. Oh no. Do you think that poor person killed the guard? Oh, I think we may have gotten someone into trouble. Oops. We could try and go past there. Oh, the horses and everything, they are actually making that very tempting. But there are other ways as well. Now, on the way around here with Kate, I did notice that there were some stairs, or rather a ladder, and some vines that we might want to make use of. Now, are there many civilians over here? No, there are not. But there are a lot of people watching this way, and that might be a bit of a problem for me. However, there is one guardsman over there. We could possibly head back the way that we were originally meant to come over here with Cooper. That might be useful. The ultimate goal is to get both of our characters down here. Getting past these long coats is going to be very hard. Neither of our characters are particularly good at taking down a long coat. A long coat is very, very robust. And there are lots of different guard types like thugs, gunmen, ponchos, long coats. Long coats are amongst the more dangerous of them. But we're going to drop a save there. It's always worthwhile having a look around, staking out the area. Fourth time's a charm. Right, okay, now this is why quick saves and quick loads exist. The game does seem to be balanced specifically for that. And that was a little bit of a risky move there.
I'll take that. And what else?
So greedy. But you can run in this mode, and as you can see, the yellow bar there starts filling up. Now, the difficulty will dictate how quickly this will fill. But as the yellow fills up, that's how suspicious the character is becoming of what they can see. Now, if pretty much you'll instantly be spotted if you do anything in this filled section, but in the dashed area, you've got a little bit of give, and as the yellow fills up, the moment that touches you, so the further away, the longer you have, the guard will then become alerted, will sound the alarm, will go to investigate, so on, so forth. But if you can get out of that area before it catches up with you, then it will duck back down. Or in this case, you could have just crouched. But we wanted to run just to save a little bit of time, which I then spent explaining what had happened. So I guess we didn't actually save anything, but it's fine. Now, we are starting to refine this particular attack pattern. So we're going to jump down here. There we go. That's one guardsman down. And let's get rid of him straight away. And there we go. Is it going to catch us? No. Ooh. That was very fortunate, because Cooper is especially loud while he's carrying a corpse. Now, let's head back down here. Now, this is the part that's kind of the, in a way... Oops, I pressed the Windows key there. I do apologize. This is a part of... I guess it's the double-edged sword of having the quick save, quick load. You get a little bit impatient, and this game rewards patience. Though I will note that if you alt-tab or something comes up that draws you out of the screen, the game very kindly immediately pauses and just goes into a pause window. That is very, very deeply appreciated, I must say. Now then, Kate, I would like you very much to just trot over here. There we go. And down. There we go. Now, this is where we need to be careful about what we do. Let's have you jump on down. There we go. Kate, let's go into showdown mode. Now, once again, showdown is how we can synchronize our attack. So let's go ahead and drop that there. And Cooper, let's get you in here with a silent takedown. There we are. And execute. Ponk. There we go. Stab. Down. Need him over there. Right now. There we go. Very nice.
After all.
Oh, shame on you, Mr. Cooper.
Indeed, that was such a bad pun. That was actually painful. Right, this is the point where we want to get in there again. Let's have a look here. And once again, now Cooper has stood up, which is a bit of a problem for me. I need that to take him out, and I need Cooper to pretty much just run straight over here and hit this rock. I need that to happen right now. So, execute. Go, 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 go. He's down. And this is gone. But I need you back. Ah, alas. That, unfortunately, caught their attention.
Let's get going.
Let's go.
Okay, 5th time's a charm.
Any chance you know where you went?
I might. Can you offer me something in exchange, Mr. Cooper?
How about my undying loyalty till we escape?
I'll take that. And what else?
So greedy, Kate. Truly. Now, each time we execute this plan, we learn a little bit more about what we need to avoid. And this particular poncho over there is causing me a tad bit of trouble that we're going to have to try and deal with. But there are so many enemies watching this path. Now, had we gone through this route, it might be a case that it would be fairly easy for us to do this. We might have eliminated this character. But that isn't the case right here. So we're just going to have to go ahead and do our best. Quickly grab him and see about getting him ducked down into this bush. There we go. Womp. And up we go. Now, once again, unfortunately, the way we... the amount of time it takes to knock someone out versus just kill them does make this a little bit harder to be non-lethal. I haven't seen there be an achievement for a non-lethal run, but I'm sure one exists. Now, let's make sure that you're actually in there, because it's not always exact. Now then, let's make sure that that's safe. Yeah, we should be able to just drop down there. And once more into showdown mode. Let's get you down, and then let's get you taken out. There we are, and execute. There we are, and
Tear gas?
get you out of the way.
Oh, well, I
Bump.
guess love is blinding after all.
Now, what we want to know is what we can do over here. Now, this should be the very edge of everyone's vision range. We have a quick glance by there. I should be able to just creep up and take these guys out, because this does not involve a full vision wheel. So hopefully we will be able to just get over there. Let's creep down there, right up next to this thing. There we go. Now from here, we'll probably be able to execute this plan, hopefully. Now then, let's have a watch of how this is going to pan out. You're watching up that route a little bit too closely. And right, back into showdown mode we go. Now, where are you currently looking? I want to allow that to go a little bit further, but...
Now, here's a thought.
Yeah, let's allow that to swing up, and then... Nah, I waited a moment too long. That'll about do. Right, let's go for this. And let's try and knock this down.
Let's see.
And execute. Let's see if this works. And there we go. There we are. Now, everyone should be a little bit interested in the fact that two guys just got crushed by a boulder. Thankfully. Oh, well, actually, you don't seem to give a damn. Well, I mean, harsh. Particularly harsh, actually. You're more interested now in just watching everywhere you used to watch. I mean, you know, accidents happen, I guess, but that is particularly nasty in my opinion, but oh well. Now, to get through here, I do need to take this poncho out, which is going to become an increasingly large problem due to you. But he is in the blind spot there. And now, without him watching, we may be able to make this work. Okay, let's get down here and get Cooper to... Oh, no, Cooper. Wow, damn it. Cooper. Double clicks. They're quite a serious threat. I want you to jump down over here. Then we should be far enough away that a knife attack will take this guy out without raising anyone's suspicions. If we approach from the right direction...
What was that back there about
There we
warning
go.
your uncle?
The DeVic company's gonna attack my uncle's ranch tonight. I gotta get word to him.
See you later.
Unfortunately, we are standing while we're moving this corpse, but it doesn't seem to have caused us any particular problem there. Okay, so now, with all of that done, we can actually move over here. Now, this is a little bit of a problem, but it's not totally an issue. The best way for us to move over here would probably be to get down here and then just jump down, I would imagine. So, to that end, we need to remove you. Now, can we get there enough to do that? Possibly. It is possible. As this fella never seems to look back this way. Neither does this one. Okay, so these two are the pair to beat, really. Now, I can take either one of you out with a knife. Probably from here I could knife him, but you would notice. So what I really need to do is to try and get in close. We'll probably use this bush, I think. All right, got a bit of a plan. So let's start moving out. I think I'm going to go for having Kate taking him down. And then I can have Cooper make his way across to deal with him and tie him up. Cooper, meanwhile, will stay over here. Now I've got to try and make sure that these two line up. That's fine. Indeed, I agree. Now you are a bit of a concern because you do look that way. But if I can have Kate go for the blind while Cooper takes him out, then Kate can rush and go for a kick. Because once this is down, we should be all right. Okay, so we've got a plan. Let's execute it. Let's go for a throwing knife this time. Take him out. And execute. And immediately, Kate needs to be on the move.
Right where it counts.
Go for the kick. And Cooper can move in and deal with it.
Better than a knife to the throat.
I'm not sure which would hurt more.
Oh, come on.
Do we have to wait?
I'm fairly certain I know which one would hurt more. The one that involves you never waking up ever again. Let's pop him down in there. And let's go back and get our knife. Now, that is one of the quirks of throwing a knife. If you throw a knife, you don't get it back. You have to go and collect it, which is a bit of an interesting one. So let's go and grab that.
Got it.
Yoink. There we go. And we'll just drop him in there. Now, getting down here, you are watching this gunman. Is this gunman watching you? Kind of, yeah. It's a bit of a problem. We're all right. Now, where are you going to be looking as you go back? We do need to find out.
Okay,
Let's just jump down. Now, once again, I can go for a lethal solution here, but that is not the best solution. Realistically speaking.
The show goes on.
Instead, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a double with Cooper. We're going to use this to grab both of them. There we go. Go for it.
Take you for a man who throws
Now
money.
I want this over there.
Every penny
There we
counts,
are.
Mr. Cooper.
And with that, we are out of there without anyone knowing any the wiser. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, from here, I should be able to jump down and take him out. I'm hopeful. No, unfortunately, we can't. Can we jump down at all around here? I guess we can, yes.
Trick in the book.
Yep. There we go.
Let's make it quick.
And take him out. Gonna have to be quick with this, though. There we are. And into the bush we go. Now, the other fella is going to be wondering where his friend went, as I mentioned, if they have to talk with someone. So I'm afraid that you have to go out too.
Don't worry about me.
I do feel a little bit bad about that, but, you know, it is a thing that happened. There we go. Now, where are you watching? You're kind of watching the whole area, but that's fine.
Sure thing.
You can at least get up here, and Kate can use a
You're
ladder.
a capable hand, Mr. Cooper. My uncle
Tries
could
to
use
be,
your
at
help
least.
at the ranch.
Sorry, Miss O'Hara. Not my
If
line.
we can just get over there, then I will be very, very happy. Now, the dog over here is a bit of a problem because it can sniff out
There's a
someone
guard
who
dog
is
up
in
there.
stealth.
She'll sniff me out no matter what I'm wearing. She hates me.
Now then, well, I mean, you did kill her master, so I feel it's kind of fair. Now, this does pose a problem. There's a lot of people around here, and we kind of want to eliminate them. There's a bit of a chat going on there. Now, Cooper can just go down here without too much of an issue. But Kate is going to have to go out through this door, which is going to pose a little bit more of an issue for us. Still, I think we can get there. Oh, no, back, Kate, back, Kate. Oh, we just got out of that area just in time. Now, that happened because when he stood up, he was he had a different sight range.
No one's getting past us.
Cooper, let's get down here. We'll take out these guards. And that should give Kate an opportunity.
We blast them to hell.
There we go.
Listen, Mr. Cooper.
Now, these
If you
guardsmen
help us
haven't really
defend
looked
the
around
ranch,
much.
I'll tell you where Frank went.
You drive a hard bargain, Miss O'Hara.
I simply know how to clean
A little
the
bit of a
cards.
save there. Whomp.
Don't take it personal.
I mean, I kind of would, I'm going to be honest.
Sharpen.
I could have just punched him and then tied him up.
Done.
So it kind of was a little bit personal. Let's be
Here
honest.
goes.
Now, at this point, Cooper, I don't believe the coin will draw their attention. We'll have a look.
Tails.
Yeah, it does, actually. Doesn't keep it for very long. They're going to turn back to their point very quickly after that.
Bored out of my mind.
Now, this is the part where we're going to have to be very careful of how we proceed. Because we do have
Things. Are you done?
two people looking this way.
Let's leave
Now.
this mess of a party.
Indeed, I agree. Let's leave it.
I've had enough.
No,
of
I'm not
weddings.
here. There we go. Now, if I get just down here, here we are. So, Cooper, first,
Oldest
scare them over there.
Let's get on.
Then let's stun them. That is one of the few items in the game that can affect longcoats in the same way that it'll affect every other type of enemy. Now we do have this one last little problem to deal with. And once that's done, we should be home free. Now, I could take you down with a knife toss, but
What can I do you for?
if I'm very lucky, I should be able to get all of them and then just have both Kate and Cooper run for it. Shall we see how that works? Let's drop a save. And
Bless
pow.
your heart.
Gotta
Go.
figure something out.
no, okay, they don't want to go. Oh, apparently I can't actually go that far. I've got to just go as far as the border there.
Okay.
All right, that
Someone
makes sense.
sneeze on my
There we go.
mark.
Let's go.
Wait a sec.
Run! It's fine. We're already gone. Haha! Take that. Now, if you were trying to use some sort of challenge where you didn't ever raise the alarm, then you wouldn't do that at the end. But
I'm awake. I'm awake.
I'm on a bit of a
So you must
timer,
be
so
Mr.
I've got to be
Cooper's
quick.
friend.
Yeah, and you are.
Kate O'Hara.
Covered in
Pleasure to
blood.
meet you.
That's who she is.
Hector. So, how was the wedding?
Stop trying to impress a lady. We're heading out. Listen, I got someone that could help us. Damn good marksman. Thing is, he doesn't work for free.
That would be Doc.
I'm sure Higgins has no objection to this investment.
All right, Hector, you go with Miss O'Hara. I think we have until sundown before the DeVitt men come for the ranch. I'll see you there.
You got it, amigo.
Thank you, Mr. Cooper.
No need to thank me. We have a deal, don't we?
This Frank must be a hell of a guy if you risk your life like this to find him.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Well, you better hurry. We'll be ready for you at the ranch.
Let's hope so.
So, why are we defending a ranch now?
Well, it's a long story. I'll explain on the way.
Hopefully after you get out of the bloody wedding dress, because I feel that that's going to draw attention, no matter where you are. Might get you a free drink at a bar for a good story, but you know. Don't use a disguise. There we go. And don't use the Gatling gun. There we go to both of them. All right, so with that, we get a review. And if this was the first time through, this is where you would see all of the available achievements for that. But the next part is the most awesome part. You can see your run in detail. Now, of course, you know, I spent time here and there just discussing what was going on, but normally you'd see a much more smooth ride. You can speed it up, slow it down. It goes as low as half speed, which is pretty awesome, or as high as 64 speed. So you can see coming through there. Now, again, there were much more obvious routes to take. In fact, routes that were described. And this point there tells us how many quick loads it took. It was our 5th attempt to get through, and on that point we succeeded. It only shows you the successful run, but it does give you an indication of how many times you had to reload, and that's actually quite amazing. I think I really really like that. I really like that a lot. That took us a whole total of 29 minutes to get through. Now, this is actually useful in more ways than just a kind of a fun way of seeing the route you took, which was kind of meandering and all over the place in lots of ways. But it does highlight places you haven't been. So in future runs, you could kind of focus on those areas for potential other routes that you could explore and maybe shave off a little bit of time. Almost all of them offer you a bit of an idea of like a speedrun challenge, which is actually pretty cool. There we go. We get a final idea of the total time the run took me versus how long in game we were, which is actually pretty cool. Time 30 minutes and 30, 63%. I'm actually not sure what that's about. Perhaps the amount of kills or something. Enemies killed at 12 of 68, and of 68 enemies that were there. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Right, there we are. And most kills was Cooper. Well, unsurprisingly, because Kate didn't have a way to kill anyone. But there we have it. That's it for that level. And indeed, that's it for this video. But before we leave, there is one last talking point that I do want to touch on. Now, I was unable to find a way that I could realistically showcase this in the video, and that is Isabelle, the newest character to the franchise, whereas most of the other characters, in fact, I believe all of them, that is Cooper, McCoy, Hector, and Kate, are characters from the first Desperados game. This is effectively their kind of origin story. Isabelle is new to the franchise, and as such, it's quite an interesting character with very different styles of abilities. Her abilities are largely supernatural in nature. She can mind control enemies and puppet them to have guards walk where it's fine for them to walk. Obviously, if they pull out their gun and start killing their co-workers, that's going to raise suspicion. But that's a pretty powerful ability in and of itself. But also connect, which can bind the fate of two entities, such that whatever is done to one will be done to the other. So, for example, you could bind the fate of two guardsmen, and then mind control a third to attack one of them, which would execute the kind of the bound sibling as well. It's a very, very interesting character. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't showcase this one because she's actually introduced in a level that I'm not allowed to cover in this video. I could only cover up to level 6, and unfortunately, she is introduced in level 7, Mississippi River. But I will include a little picture of her as well, so you have a bit of an idea of what her character looks like, and I imagine she will be very, very fun to play. I can already start seeing very interesting ways that her abilities would synergize with the abilities of the other cast members. But that is going to be it from me for now. I really, really do hope you have enjoyed this video. Do be sure to share your feedback down in the comments below, and in fact, if there is interest, then we may see this return to the channel as a fully fledged series. Do remember though that I will be streaming at 9 PM BST, a bit of a longer stream though. This video has already ended up being a little bit longer than I anticipated, where we will be checking out probably level 5 and maybe level 6 as well. I really hope you have enjoyed. I hope to see you there, but until then, and as always, do take care, everyone.